Good morning. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is the fifth day of the year for trading, which is January 8th. Market looks like it's going to open up, and Bitcoin overnight hit over 41,000. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in a trade right now. And apparently, there's a lot of trading volume right now. ETrade is having a hard time loading. So while I'm waiting for that, don't forget to go to my Facebook page. I have a Solving Chaos page over here. Don't forget to like and follow me there. Also, if you are an experienced investor, I run another group for those who invest in stocks, real estate, and everything else. Good way to share information with other investors. So here is Riot. You can see that. And you can see the current market value. I got it in at 67 yesterday, and it's about 30 something dollars today. I'm going to change this. Let's move it up and give myself a little cushion still. I can move it to $23, collect another 16 credit, and then we can close it out later today. So we're trying to let time decay make us money. So that's the plan for today's trade. Bitcoin is still up. Here you go. Right, was executed this morning. I collected another 14 cents credit, and I got my trade in. So what I need to do is, this needs to stay above $23. And as you can see, this thing is still moving up. Right is moving up. Now, the reason why is Bitcoin trades overnight. It's up to 41,000, up 7%. This stock is up 8%. So what that means is we can track the price of Bitcoin during the open markets. And if this thing stays above, let's say 40,000, right, it should stay above $23. So my options will expire worthless. Now, I'm not going to wait for expiration. I'm going to close it out closer to 3 o'clock or 4, prior to 4 o'clock, lock in my gains. And I don't know if I want overnight or over the weekend risk for blockchain this week. But I'll decide on that later. Let me just show you what's happened with Riot. It is still going up. It's up to $26. And really nothing has happened with Bitcoin. So the market is just adjusting to the overnight move. So I don't know if I will chase this up. I'm not going to move it to the $25. Okay, back to Riot. If you look here, I can definitely close it out again and move it up. Now here's the problem. It only gives me $1.30 strike price to move with. And the challenge is, if there was a 24, I think I may have went for it, or 33.50 or something smaller. I just don't know if this is worth the risk, because what that will force me to do is, suppose I had it, I'm trying to look at how do I exit this next week. So if this is bad, how do I roll down, right? You always have to look at, can you roll down and collect the credit? So at this point, I'm just trying to think through this and say, if I had this, will it be a good move for me to roll down? And so let me play around with the numbers, because that's how I make money. Is you're trying to make sure you have room to play out, because this thing can drop. This thing can drop, because look at the run up for this week. It started at $16 up to 26. So I've been playing it pretty conservatively. Time is on my side. The one that I have will expire worthless based on today's price. Now, with that being said, I wanted to talk about what my challenge is. So I've been tracking all my trades, but because this is a new year, it's easy for you to track along with me. I copy every trade into a spreadsheet and then I pivot it. So this year, I'm going to call it the 1,500 trades challenge. So my goal is to make 1,500 trades, and obviously the goal is to make money on each trade. I like to make, on average, anywhere from 10, 15 or $20 profit. I know that's not an average. If I'm giving you a range, that's not an average. I understand that. But each trade is different. Cover calls, I generally make a little bit less per trade. When I do my iron condors, I can make about $1 or change per day, depending on how long I play it. If I play it for 20 days, right, you're making $20, $30 or $40 on that trade. And if I do 4 contracts, right, then you can see how I made $80. Now, I am not counting the number of contracts that I'm doing. So this is not a number of contracts. I'm just doing, if I trade 3 or 4 contracts in a single trade, I'm just counting that as a single trade. When I do a row or closing one position and opening one, that's considered a single trade. I do not count the closing of it as a trade and then opening a new one. I just count it as one transaction and one more trade. That's all. So with that being said, let's go into my transaction log. I like to copy all my trades for yesterday into the spreadsheet. And here you go. I don't copy today's trades. I always copy the previous day. Go to your trusty spreadsheet, hit the paste button, copy trades from yesterday over here. So this one, hit the paste button, and then I got to do my massaging of data. And I'm going to edit this, and then I'll resume recording. Okay, I think I fixed most of that. Let me just format this real quick. And what you should see is I'm up to trade number 39. So I want to speak to this one more time. What's the purpose of this? Now, counting all the trades doesn't mean anything to most people because it's just a volumes or numbers. So what I'm trying to do is let me count how many trades. The goal obviously is to try to make money on every trade. Now for some trades like Iron Condors, I have to close them out. So you open the trade, that counts as one trade, and then you have to close out the trade. So that's another trade. In the case of Iron Condors, you know there's commissions. So an Iron Condor has 4 legs, 50 cents commission, that's $2 per each set. So if I use one contract, there's 4 legs, that's a $2 commission. If I do multiple contract, you see this commission. So I'm not going to be trading just to bump up the number because there is a commission that I pay for each contract or each leg or each, right? If you're doing a credit spread, there's, so it makes no sense for me to just pad the numbers just for a YouTube video. So obviously the goal is to make as much money as I can by making profit on each trade. So let's go back to this. You're going to hit the refresh button. What you should see is, here it goes. So here's my profit, and it's getting confusing. So what I want to do is start removing last month data now. So from now on, we will not show last month data. So this is what it looks like now. So you can see the numbers are starting to show positive for the month. You come into here, let's hit the refresh button here, and that confirms it. You see the positive. And as I do new trades, you're going to see how it impacts. So I close an Iron Condor, and then I open some new ones, so you can see that. Now, I did 39 trades so far, and you're saying, well, if you collapse this, you're going to say, how the heck you make nothing in 39 trades? And don't forget, short term doesn't mean anything. What really matters is how much you make at the end of the week, how much you make at the end of the month, how much you make at the end of the quarter, and really how much you make at the end of the year. So that's what you want to look at. I'm only showing you all the data every day so you can see how it works. Again, I'm not trading just to sell you something or to give you some outrageous number like, oh, I'm making $1,000 a day. That's not how it works. I'm trading small. I try to make a small profit on most of the trades. Some of them, I do trades because they're covered calls that go in the money, and it does cost me, money to roll up those contracts so I don't lose the underlying value. And what I mean by that is this spreadsheet only shows the profit or the loss that I'm making on options premium or debits. Or I do show dividends, so you always want to remove the dividends. If you don't care about that, you want to remove the dividend. What I want to show people is passive income does make money through dividends. Then I want to show you that options trading can make money if you do it right. And this is not counting the gains in the market. Don't forget, markets are moving to an all-time high. It's obvious to state this claim. My underlying are moving up. So my portfolio is moving up, and I'm not tracking the movement of the change in value of the underlying. All I'm tracking is how much premium did I collect against the covered call. And you see, because my covered calls are in the money, it's going to cost me money. So I'm taking cash out of my account, and so far, covered calls are doing really bad. But I can tell you, I made more than $600 in underlying. You're not going to spend 600 to protect 600, right? If you're up to a free of $5,000 in your underlying, you don't want your shares to get called away at a discount. So I will spend money to move up my strike price. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. For my advanced users, you know what I mean. I am not tracking the delta of my portfolio. What I'm tracking is how much money I make in options plus what I collect in passive dividends per year. You guys saw my 2020 data, and I definitely made money. My goal last year was close to about $100 a day on average. That's what it turned out to be. So this year is a similar goal. I definitely felt some pain on the dividend side. My dividend goal fell short of what I wanted, but hopefully this year we'll see some turnaround there. And in the end, when you multiply the small profit for each contract, let's say $10, if I do 1,500 trades on average of $10 profit, you can see that will make me $15,000. So that's the way we're going to try to measure it. And I do think the numbers will be much higher, but you can see how it plays out in real time. So hopefully you'll get my challenge. My challenge is let's do as many volume as we can. Let's try to make a small profit on each trade. And I know that mathematically you're not. I'm going to lose on whatever it may be. 10% of the trades will lose some money. But when you net it all out at the end of the year, let's shoot for that. And I want you to come along with me on this journey. I track and I trade and I paste everything in here. If you like what you see and you want to join the challenge, let me know what your goals are. This may help you see how it's possible to generate some type of, I don't want to use the word income, but it does generate a positive net worth or adds value to your account. And over time, for some of you who trade in taxable accounts, you can use it as living. You can live off of your trading. I trade in mostly tax deferred account, so I have no incentive to live off of this income. This thing just basically pad my account value so I don't have to ever add new contributions into these accounts. Please hit the like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Let's do this together, and let's do this $1 at a time. And hopefully at the end of the year, we'll come and revisit whether or not the challenge was successful. Have a good and profitable day.